Jiang Qing, Chinese, Wei Giles, Chang Qing, also known as Madame Mao, March 19, 1914 – May 14, 1991, was a Chinese actress and a major political figure during the Cultural Revolution. She was the wife of Mao Zedong, the chairman of the Communist Party of China. She used the stage name Lan Ping during her acting career, and was known by many other names, see names section below. She married Mao in Yan'an in November 1938 and served as the inaugural First Lady of the People's Republic of China. Jiang Qing was best known for playing a major role in the Cultural Revolution, 1966-76, and for forming the radical political alliance known as the Gang of Four. Jiang Qing served as Mao's personal secretary in the 1940s and was head of the film section of the Communist Party's propaganda department in the 1950s. She served as an important emissary for Mao in the early stages of the Cultural Revolution. In 1966 she was appointed deputy director of the Central Cultural Revolution Group. She collaborated with Lin Biao to advance Mao's unique brand of communist ideology as well as Mao's cult of personality. At the height of the Cultural Revolution, Jiang Qing held significant influence in the affairs of state, particularly in the realm of culture and the arts, and was idolized in propaganda posters as the great flag-bearer of the proletarian revolution. In 1969, Jiang gained a seat on the Politburo. Before Mao's death, the Gang of Four maintained control of many of China's political institutions, including the media and propaganda. However, Jiang Qing, deriving most of her political legitimacy from Mao, often found herself at odds with other top leaders. Mao's death in 1976 dealt a significant blow to Jiang Qing's political fortunes. She was arrested in October 1976 by Hua Guofeng and his allies, and was subsequently condemned by party authorities. Since then, Jiang Qing has been officially branded as having been part of the Lin Biao and Jiang Qing counter-revolutionary clique, to which most of the blame for the damage and devastation caused by the Cultural Revolution was assigned. Though initially sentenced to death, her sentence was commuted to life imprisonment in 1983. After being released for medical treatment, Jiang Qing committed suicide in May 1991. Jiang Qing was born in Zhuquan, Shandong Province on March 19, 1914. Her birth name was Lshmng. She was the only child of Li Duan, a carpenter, and his subsidiary wife, or concubine. Her father ran his own carpentry and cabinet-making shop. After Jiang's parents had a violent argument, her mother found work as a domestic servant. Some accounts cite that Jiang's mother also worked as a prostitute, and separated from her husband. When Jiang enrolled in elementary school, she took the name El Yunhe, meaning crane in the clouds, by which she was known for much of her early life. Due to her socio-economic status and the fact that she was an illegitimate child, she was looked down upon by her schoolmates, and she and her mother moved in with her maternal grandparents when she started middle school. In 1926, when she was 12 years old, her father died. Jiang's mother relocated them to Tianjin, where she worked as a child laborer in a cigarette factory for several months. 2 years later, Jiang and her mother settled in Jinan. The following summer, she entered an experimental theater and drama school. Her talent brought her to the attention of administrators, who selected her to join a drama club in Beijing, where she advanced her acting skills. She returned to Jinan in May 1931 and married Pei Minglun, the wealthy son of a businessman. The marriage was an unhappy one and they soon divorced. From July 1931 to April 1933, Jiang attended Qingdao University in Qingdao. She met Yu Kewei, a biology student 3 years her senior, who was an underground member of the Communist Party propaganda department. By 1932, they had fallen in love and were living together. She joined the Communist Cultural Front, a circle of artists, writers, and actors, and performed in Put Down Your Whip, a renowned popular play about a woman who escapes from Japanese-occupied northeastern China and performs in the streets to survive. In February 1933, Jiang took the oath of the Chinese Communist Party with Yu at her side, and she was appointed member of the Chinese Communist Party Youth Wing. Yu was arrested in April the same year and Zhang was subsequently shunned by his family. She fled to her parents' home in Shanghai and returned to the drama school in Jinan, where she was warmly received. Through friendships she had previously established, she received an introduction to attend Shanghai University for the summer, where she also taught some general literacy classes. In October, she rejoined the Communist Youth League, and at the same time, began participating in an amateur drama troupe. In September 1934, Zhang Qing was arrested and jailed for her political activities in Shanghai, but was released 3 months later, in December of the same year. She then traveled to Beijing, where she reunited with Yu Kewei, who had just been released following his prison sentence, and the two began living together again. Zhang Qing returned to Shanghai in March 1935, and became a professional actress, adopting the stage name Lan Ping, meaning Blue Apple, Chinese. She appeared in numerous films and plays, including God of Liberty, The Scenery of City, Blood on Wolf Mountain and Old Mr. Wang. In Ibsen's play A Doll's House, Zhang Qing played the role of Nora. With her career established, she became involved with actor/director Tang Na, with whom she appeared in scenes of city life and the Statue of Liberty. They were married in Hangzhou in March 1936, however he soon discovered she was continuing her relationship with Yu Kewei. The scandal became public knowledge and he made 2 suicide attempts before their divorce became final. In 1937, Zhang joined the Lianhua Film Company and starred in the film Big Thunderstorm. She reportedly had an affair with director Zhang Min, however she denied it in her autobiographical writings. Following the Marco Polo Bridge incident on July 7, 1937 and the Japanese invasion of Shanghai, which destroyed most of its movie industry, Zhang left her celebrity life on the stage behind. She went first to Xi'an, then to the Chinese Communist headquarters in Yan'an to join the revolution and the war to resist the Japanese invasion. In November, she enrolled in the Anti-Japanese Military and Political University, Marxist-Leninist Institute, for study. The Lusun Academy of Arts was newly founded in Yan'an on April 10, 1938, and Zhang Qing became a drama department instructor, teaching and performing in college plays and operas. Shortly after arriving in Yan'an, Zhang became involved with Mao Zedong. Some communist leaders were scandalized by the relationship once it became public. At 45, Mao was nearly twice Jiang's age, and Zhang had lived a highly bourgeois lifestyle before coming to Yan'an. Mao was still married to He Zichen, a lifelong communist who had previously completed the Long March with him, and with whom Mao had 5 children. Eventually, Mao arranged a compromise with the other leaders of the CCP. Mao was granted a divorce and permitted to marry Zhang, but she was required to stay out of public politics for 30 years. Zhang abided by this agreement. However, 30 years later, at the beginning of the Cultural Revolution, Zhang became active in politics. On November 28, 1938, Zhang and Mao married in a small private ceremony following approval by the party's Central Committee. Because Mao's marriage to He had not yet ended, Zhang was reportedly made to sign a marital contract which stipulated that she would not appear in public with Mao as her escort. Zhang and Mao's only child together, a daughter named Li Na, was born in 1940. After the founding of the People's Republic of China in 1949, Zhang became the nation's first lady. She worked as director of film in the Central Propaganda Department, and as a member of the Ministry of Culture Steering Committee for the film industry. An uproar in 1950 led to the investigation of the life of Wu Suan, a film about a 19th-century beggar who raised money to educate the poor. Zhang supported criticism of the film for celebrating counter-revolutionary ideas. Following the Great Leap Forward, 1958-1961, Mao was highly criticized within the CCP, and turned to Zhang, among others, to support him and persecute his enemies. Taking advantage of the power given to her by Mao, Zhang began by reforming the Chinese theater. She led an initiative for reforming modern opera in 1963 that resulted in the A8 model revolutionary operas established at the Peking Opera. This initiative and others strictly defined permitted works of drama, music, dance, and other arts, including outright bans of unapproved works. The Cultural Revolution. Backed by her husband, she was appointed deputy director of the Central Cultural Revolution Group in 1966 and emerged as a serious political figure in the summer of that year. She became a member of the Politburo in 1969. By then she had established a close political working relationship with the other members of what later became known as the Gang of Four: Zhang Chunqiao, Yao Wenyuan, and Wang Hongwen. She was one of the most powerful and controversial figures in China during Mao's last years. During this period, Mao Zedong galvanized students and young workers as his Red Guards to attack what he termed as revisionists in the party. Mao told them the revolution was in danger and that they must do all they could to stop the emergence of a privileged class in China. He argued this is what had happened in the Soviet Union under Khrushchev. With time, Zhang began playing an increasingly active political role in the movement. She took part in most important party and government activities. She was supported by a radical coterie, dubbed, by Mao himself, the Gang of Four. Although a prominent member of the Central Cultural Revolution Group and a major player in Chinese politics from 1966 to 1976, she essentially remained on the sidelines. The initial storm of the Cultural Revolution came to an end when Liu Shaoqi was forced from all his posts on October 13, 1968. Lin Biao now became Mao's designated successor. Chairman Mao now gave his support to the Gang of Four: Jiang Qing, Wang Hongwen, Yao Wenyuan, and Zhang Chunqiao. These four radicals occupied powerful positions in the Politburo after the 10th Party Congress of 1973. Jiang Qing also directed operas and ballets with communist and revolutionary content as part of an effort to transform China's culture. She dominated the Chinese arts, and in particular attempted to reform the Beijing opera. She developed a new form of art called the 8 model plays, which depicted the world in simple, binary terms. The positive characters, good guys, were predominantly farmers, workers, and revolutionary soldiers, whilst the negative characters, bad guys, were landlords and anti-revolutionaries. The negative characters, in contrast to their proletarian foils who performed boldly center stage, were identifiable by their darker makeup and relegation to the outskirts of the stage until direct conflict with a positive character. Critics would argue that her influence on art was too restrictive, because she replaced nearly all earlier works of art with revolutionary Maoist works. Jiang Qing first collaborated with then second-in-charge Lin Biao, but after Lin Biao's death in 1971, she turned against him publicly in the Criticize Lin, Criticize Confucius campaign. By the mid-1970s, Jiang Qing also spearheaded the campaign against Deng Xiaoping, afterwards saying that this was inspired by Mao. The Chinese public became intensely discontented at this time and chose to blame Jiang Qing, a more accessible and easier target than Chairman Mao. By 1973, although unreported due to it being a personal matter, Mao and his wife Zhang had separated. It was reported that Mao Zedong and Chiang Ching were separated in 1973. Most people, however, did not know this. Hence Chiang Ching was still able to use her position as Mao's wife to deceive people. Because of her relations to Mao, it was particularly difficult for the party to deal with her. Jiang Qing's hobbies included photography, playing cards, and watching foreign movies, especially Gone with the Wind. When touring a troupe of young girls excelling in marksmanship, she discovered Joan Chen, then 14 years old, launching Joan's career as a Chinese and then international actress. She developed severe hypochondriasis and erratic nerves. She required 2 sedatives over the course of a day and 3 sleeping pills to fall asleep. Staff were assigned to chase away birds and cicadas from her imperial fishing villa. She ordered house servants to cut down on noise by removing their shoes and preventing clothes from rustling. Mild temperature differences bothered her. Thermostats were always set to 21.5 degrees Celsius, 70.7 degrees Fahrenheit, in winter, and 26 degrees Celsius, 78.8 degrees Fahrenheit, in summer. Political persecution of enemies. Jiang Qing incited radical youths organized as Red Guards against other senior political leaders and government officials, including Liu Shaoqi, the president at the time, and Deng Xiaoping, the deputy premier. Internally divided into factions both to the left and right of Jiang Qing and Mao, not all Red Guards were friendly to Jiang Qing. Jiang's rivalry with, and personal dislike of, Zhou Enlai led Jiang to hurt Zhou where he was most vulnerable. In 1968 Jiang had Zhou's adopted son, Sun Yang, and daughter, Sun Weishi, tortured and murdered by Maoist Red Guards. Sun Yang was murdered in the basement of Renmin University. After Sun Weishi died following 7 months of torture in a secret prison, at Jiang's direction, Jiang made sure that Sun's body was cremated and disposed of so that no autopsy could be performed, and so that Sun's family could not have her ashes. In 1968 Jiang forced Zhou to sign an arrest warrant for his own brother. In 1973 and 1974, Jiang directed the Criticize Lin, Criticize Confucius campaign against Premier Zhou because Zhou was viewed as one of Jiang's primary political opponents. In 1975, Jiang initiated a campaign named Criticizing Songjiang, evaluating the water margin, which encouraged the use of Zhou as an example of a political loser. After Zhou Enlai died in 1976, Jiang initiated the 5 NOS campaign in order to discourage and prohibit any public mourning for Zhou. On September 5, 1976, Mao's health condition turned critical when he suffered a heart attack, far more serious than his previous 2 earlier in the year. Upon being contacted by Hua Guofeng, Jiang Qing returned from her trip and spent only a few moments in the hospital's building 202, where Mao was being treated. Later she returned to her own residence in the Spring Lotus Chamber. On the afternoon of September 7, Mao took a turn for the worse. Mao had just fallen asleep and needed to rest, but Jiang Qing insisted on rubbing his back and moving his limbs, and she sprinkled powder on his body. The medical team protested that the dust from the powder was not good for his lungs, but she instructed the nurses on duty to follow her example later. The next morning, September 8, she went again. This time she wanted the medical staff to change Mao's sleeping position, claiming that he had been lying too long on his left side. The doctor on duty objected, knowing that he could breathe only on his left side. Jiang had him move Mao nonetheless. As a result, Mao's breathing stopped and his face turned blue. Jiang Qing left the room while the medical staff put Mao on a respirator and performed emergency cardiopulmonary resuscitation. Eventually, Mao was revived and Hua Guofeng urged Jiang Qing not to interfere further with the doctor's work. However, nearly all of Mao's organs failed and he fell into a coma by the end of that day. With Mao beyond recovery and unwilling to prolong his suffering, Chinese government decided to disconnect Mao's life support mechanism. Mao's death occurred just after midnight on September 9, 1976. Mao's chosen successor, Hua Guofeng, chaired his funeral committee. It was believed Hua was a compromise candidate between the Free Marketeers and the Party Orthodox. Some argue this may have been due to his ambivalence and his low-key profile, particularly compared to Deng Xiaoping, the preferred candidate of the market-oriented factions. The party apparatus, under orders from Jiang Qing and Zhang Chunqiao, wrote a eulogy affirming Mao's achievements in order to justify their claims to power. By this time state media was effectively under the control of the Gang of Four. State newspapers continued to denounce Deng shortly after Mao's death. Jiang Qing was especially paranoid of Deng's influence on national affairs, whereas she considered Hua Guofeng a mere nuisance. In numerous documents published in the 1980s it was claimed that Jiang Qing was conspiring to make herself the new chairman of the Communist Party. Jiang Qing showed few signs of sorrow during the days following Mao's death. It was uncertain who controlled the Communist Party's central organs during this transition period. Hua Guofeng, as Mao's designated successor, held the titular power as the acting chairman of the Communist Party and as premier. However, Hua was not very influential. Some sources indicate that Mao mentioned Jiang Qing before his death in a note to Hua Guofeng, telling him to go and consult her if he runs into problems. Chinese. Jiang Qing believed that upholding the status quo, where she was one of the highest-ranked members of the central authorities, would mean that she would effectively hold onto power. In addition, she believed that her status as Mao's widow would make it difficult for her to be removed. She continued to invoke Mao's name in her major decisions, and acted as first in charge. Her political ambitions and lack of respect for most of the elder revolutionaries within the Central Committee became notorious. Her support within the Central Committee was dwindling, and her public approval was dismal. Ye Jianying, a renowned general, met in private with Hua Guofeng and Wang Dongxing, commander of a secret service-like organization called the 8341 Special Regiment. They determined that Jiang Qing and her associates must be removed by force in order to restore stability. On the morning of October 6, 1976, Jiang Qing came to Mao's former residence in Zhongnanhai, gathered her close aides and Mao's former personal aides in a study Mao's work session. According to Du Xiaoxian, her photographer, Jiang Qing remarked that she knew people within the Central Committee were plotting against her. After the session, Jiang Qing took several aides to Jingshan Park to pick apples. In the evening, Jiang Qing, Zhang Chunqiao, Wang Hongwen, and Yao Wenyuan were arrested and kept in the lower level of Zhongnanhai. According to Zhang Yaosai, who carried out the arrest, Jiang Qing did not say much when she was arrested. In a bloodless coup, the Gang of Four was charged with attempts to seize power by organizing militant coups in Shanghai and Beijing, subverting the government, counter-revolutionary activity, and treason. After her arrest, Jiang Qing was sent to the Qinchinj prison and detained for 5 years. In both official and civilian accounts of the period, the fall of the gang was met with celebrations all over China. Indeed, Jiang Qing's role in the Cultural Revolution was perceived by the public to be largely negative, and the Gang of Four was a convenient scapegoat for the 10 years of political and social turmoil. Her role during the Cultural Revolution is still a subject of historical debate. In 1980, the trials of the Gang of Four began. The trials were televised nationwide by showing the way the Gang of Four was tried, Deng Xiaoping wanted the people to realize that a new era had begun. Portions of the 20,000-word indictment were printed in China's press before the trial started. They accused the defendants of a host of heinous crimes that took place during the Cultural Revolution. The charges specify that 727,420 Chinese were persecuted during that period, and that 34,274 died, though the often vague indictment did not specify exactly how. Among the chief victims, one-time Chief of State Liu Shaokai, whose widow Wang Guangmei, herself imprisoned during the Cultural Revolution for 12 years, attended the trial as an observer. The indictment described 2 plots by the Jiang Qing-Lin Biao counter-revolutionary clique to seize power. Jiang Qing was not accused of conspiring with Lin Biao, or with other members of the Gang of Four who allegedly planned an armed rebellion to usurp power in 1976, when Mao was close to death. Instead, the charges against her focused on her systematic persecution of creative artists during the Cultural Revolution. Amongst other things, she was accused of hiring 40 people in Shanghai to disguise themselves as Red Guards and ransack the homes of writers and performers. The apparent purpose was said to find and destroy letters, photos, and other potentially damaging materials on Jiang Qing's early career in Shanghai, which she wanted to keep secret. Despite the seriousness of the accusations against her, Jiang Qing appeared unrepentant. She had not confessed her guilt, something that the Chinese press emphasized to show her bad attitude. There had been reports that she planned to defend herself by cloaking herself in Mao's mantle, saying that she did only what he approved. As the trial got underway, Jiang Qing dismissed her assigned lawyers, deciding instead to represent herself. During her public trials at the special court, Jiang Qing was the only member of the Gang of Four who argued on her own behalf. The defense's argument was that she obeyed the orders of Chairman Mao Zedong at all times. Jiang Qing maintained that all she had done was to defend Chairman Mao. It was at this trial that Jiang Qing made the famous quote, "I was Chairman Mao's dog. I bit whomever he asked me to bite." Chinese. The official records of the trial have not been released. Death. Jiang Qing was sentenced to death with a 2-year reprieve in 1981. By 1983, her death sentence was commuted to life imprisonment. During this time, she made several requests to visit Mao Zedong's embalmed body in Beijing, but they were turned down. When the Tiananmen Square protests occurred, Jiang believed that the student activists were liberals rather than Maoists, but she blamed them on Deng Xiaoping, writing that he let in all those Western ideas. While in prison, Jiang Qing was diagnosed with throat cancer, but she refused an operation. She was eventually released, on medical grounds, in 1991. At the hospital, Jiang Qing used the name LRNQNG, Chinese. She committed suicide on May 14, 1991, aged 77, by hanging herself in a bathroom of her hospital. She penned a suicide note reading, "Today the revolution has been stolen by the revisionist clique of Deng, Peng Zhen, and Yang Shankan. Chairman Mao exterminated Liu Shaokai, but not Deng, and the result of this omission is that unending evils have been unleashed on the Chinese people and nation. Chairman, your student and fighter is coming to see you." Her suicide occurred 2 days short of the 25th anniversary of the Cultural Revolution. She wished for her remains to be buried in her home province of Shandong, but in consideration of possible future vandalism to her tomb, the state decided to have her remains moved to a safer common cemetery in Beijing. Jiang Qing is buried in Fuxian Cemetery in the western hills of Beijing. Her grave is marked by a tall white stone inscribed with her school name, not the name by which she was famously known, which reads, "Tomb of late mother, Li Yunhe, 1914-1991. Names of Jiang Qing. There are several reasons for Jiang Qing's large repertoire of names. A large part of it has to do with the fluctuating period she lived in. At the time of her birth, many female children never received given names or formal education. Her father named her Li Jinhai because he wanted a son, but this was altered after her birth to Li Shuman. She enrolled in school under a more dignified name, Li Yunhe, and simply changed it for convenience to Li He. As was customary for Chinese actors during that time, and for some, until the present day, she chose a stage name, which was used in all the plays and films that credited her roles. Lan Ping was the name she was known by within Chinese film circles and a name she came to identify with. It is unclear when she changed her name to Jiang Qing, but it probably occurred before her arrival in Yan'an. It is believed that the character Qing was chosen because it related to the concept of blue, Lan. There is some evidence that the name signified her status as a communist and a severance from her bourgeois past. She also used Li Jin to pen a number of articles she wrote during the Cultural Revolution. Eventually, to protect her identity, she used Li Runqing when she was hospitalized after being released from prison. She was buried under her tombstone, which bore the name Li Yunhe.